Good afternoon. My name is David Rust, and this is my hometown. I'm happy to see everyone here. I don't have my glasses on. That's why I can't see it. On behalf of the city and the development committee, welcome to the Bicentennial New Haven in our Founders Day celebration. First, let's take a minute to thank the city and all its members of the New Haven Development Committee and countless volunteers over the past few years. This has been an ongoing effort that, from the idea to the final product, they have created an event that can be enjoyed by everyone. So if you don't mind, let's give a round of applause. Now, without further ado, here is My Old Kentucky Home and our national anthem sung by Miss Julian Clark.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. The sun shines bright on the old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the children are at play. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make the music all the day. Young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard times comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Miss Tessie Cecil.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to see a lot of new faces here, new and old faces. Welcome to all from faraway places. Welcome to everyone that came from I don't, which one is the farthest? Who came from the farthest? Rainy, I see you came from far away. Can anybody tell me where they came from? Not from New Hope. I saw somebody from Lexington, from Louisville. Welcome everyone. But anyway, I'm supposed to introduce someone that I know well enough. One of our local representatives from the state. I'd like to introduce Senator Jimmy Higdon, who was elected in 2003 to 2009 as our House representative, and then he was elected as a senator in 2009 until currently as our representative of District 14, Senator Jimmy Higdon.
Thank you, Mayor, and what an honor it is to be here today. And something about here in my old Kentucky home when you're here in Nelson County, it just gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? What an honor again to be here, Representative McCoy. We really thank you all for inviting us. And one of the things I did yesterday when I wanted to find out who the state representative was in 1820 and who the state senator was. The state senator was Samuel McLean, and the state representative was Charles Wycliffe, who went on to be governor and a lot of other things. Speaker of the House, Postmaster General. He served in Congress, and he also helped write the present-day Kentucky Constitution. So, very, very busy guy. I did do a resolution in the House, well, in the Kentucky State Senate, and if you don't mind, I'll read that to you. A resolution recognizing the bicentennial of New Haven, Kentucky. Whereas it is appropriate that this General Assembly honor those towns in the Commonwealth who are celebrating their history and formation. Whereas New Haven, being one of such towns, will celebrate its bicentennial on February the 22nd, 2020. And this body rightfully pauses on this day to honor New Haven's citizens, its public officials, and its founders. Whereas New Haven, now part of Nelson County, was first settled by Captain Samuel Pottinger, who was surveying the area with James Harrod in 1754. Whereas Pottinger would go on to build a stockade 3 miles east of present-day New Haven, near the confluence of Pottinger and Knob Creek and the Rolling Fork and Salt Rivers. At this location, allowed the shipment of goods to enter the Ohio River near Louisville and be transported to the critical location of New Orleans. Whereas New Haven became the center of primitive settlements that would become Marion, Nelson, and LaRue counties. Whereas in 1790, Samuel Pottinger built a big meat cabin on the Rolling Fork River, which allowed goods to be stored in the area until they could be shipped downriver. This would become Pottinger's Landing. Whereas it was Samuel Pottinger's son, Samuel Pottinger Jr., who first surveyed the streets of New Haven, modeling the town after New Haven, Connecticut, where he had just visited and returned with a love of the town's tranquil, tree-lined streets. Whereas on February 22nd, 1820, New Haven, Kentucky was officially designated as a town. Whereas 200 years later, New Haven and its citizens continue to thrive, and on this day, the General Assembly grants the town best wishes as it celebrates its bicentennial and commends all those individuals, past and present, who have worked so hard to carry on the tradition of the shining jewel, of this shining jewel of the Commonwealth. Thank you all again for allowing me to be here today, and congratulations on your bicentennial. Thank you.
The next one will be our Majority Whip of the House of Representatives, House Representative of District 50, Chad McCoy.
Thank you.
senator, I have a citation. I'm not going to read it. I am going to give it to the mayor, so stop by her office sometime and you can read it there. I just want to say, I hope you guys realize how blessed you are. New Haven is such a unique community. You know, I grew up in eastern Kentucky in a small town, but it was maybe 3 times this big. So it's still a small town, but New Haven's a little smaller. And I know what it's like in a small town. Everybody knows your business, and you sometimes feel like you're suffocating. But my goodness, what a community. And if you haven't been away from here for a while, or like me, if you're not from here, when you walk into New Haven, you feel it. You know it. You get to know the people. Everybody knows everybody. And honest to goodness, I go around everywhere, the nicest folks in the world. So thank you very much for having me. Congratulations. Let's keep it going. We got to have, a couple hundred more of these things. And thanks for the opportunity to be your representative in Frankfort. God bless.
Thank you. All right. The next one is our county judge, Dean Watts, forever county judge.
Thank you, Mayor. Usually when I try to give a talk, I usually try to find out some historical significance and what I'm going to speak about, knowing a little bit more what I'm going to speak about. So I did research some information on New Haven. There was a lady in Nelson County in Bardstown by the name of Sarah Smith. Sarah wrote a book about the history of Nelson County about 1972 to 74. And of course, Sarah, even at that time, had some age on her. So I'm satisfied the information that she collected had some documentation as to what she was saying. And I'll get into that just a second. But back as far as the census goes, in 1870, New Haven had 99 citizens. 99 citizens. Then 10 years later, it jumped to 437. And now I'm going to skip a few years here and go down to 1930. The census dropped all the way down to 68 people, 68 citizens. And then the next 10 years, it went back up to 549, about where it was in 1920. And then from 1950 to 1960, there must have been some real cold winters. There was 1,009 people, a 500-person increase in that 10 years. And that was really amazing compared to, you look at the chart. And since then, it's been teetering around 900 or so. So it's important for young people to come back to New Haven, encourage your children, your grandchildren to come back to New Haven, and not just come back to participate. Run for mayor, run for council, be involved in the community. And there's some young folks that I've talked to that are interested in some of that. But a couple of the other speakers have already talked about Pottingers and how this place was settled. And it talks about, in Sarah's book, about the importance of the bourbon business, the bourbon industry. Athertonville talks about other distilleries located in the area. And at one time, the whiskey business, or the bourbon business, was a dominant industrial part of New Haven. You had your train, and you had the other activities related to that. But something else that caught my eye here, and they would export out of New Haven cured meat, timber, and iron, shell. Iron from the shell. That was very interesting to see. And the first copy of the newspaper of New Haven, I think the name of the newspaper was Echo, E-C-H-O. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Sarah documented this, and it was published in 1886 and contained 4 pages, 9 by 11 inches. The Echo had a circulation of 500, so everybody in town must have taken one, including the children. So I found all that very interesting. I've served as the county judge here for 27 years and found that the citizens in Nelson County, the citizens in New Haven in particular, everybody is a family. You know, you go to St. Catherine, you go to the other churches. The faith is important to a lot of the folks in the South End. Of course, right next door, down the road a little piece, you have the monastery, and all that was important. But the family's important, and hopefully we can continue that tradition. But thank you for your invitation today, and congratulations and happy birthday for your 200 years.
Thank you, George. Thank you for that information. I thought it was during the war that the population went up. Okay. Next is Greg Burkhoff, a representative from Brent Guthrie's office.
This is one of the times that I enjoy representing the congressman, and on behalf of the congressman, the bicentennial was recognized on the House floor this week, and on behalf of the congressman, you will be receiving the full congressional record as it's printed.
Thank you, Greg.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here. My name is Father Matthew Hardesty. I'm the pastor here at St. Catherine and also at St. Vincent de Paul in New Hope and Immaculate Conception in Culvertown. And I just want to say how honored I am to be able to host this event. It's a real honor of mine. I've really enjoyed being in this community for about the last year and a half or so. And I just wanted to give a little fervorino to encourage us and to keep this good spirit alive. We know that, when an author writes a story, he writes with sentences and paragraphs. But when God writes the story of salvation history, he writes that with lives and families and generations. And so we see, looking back over our history, during the difficult times, God has always been by our side. During the happy times, he has given us a foretaste of heaven. And so we're so grateful for this new haven on earth. If we can walk together as in Christian brotherhood toward the Lord, we could pursue the true heaven of everlasting life. So that is our hope, and I wanted to remind us of that today. And I'm so glad again that you're here. Be sure to check out the presentation for St. Vincent de Paul in New Hope. That parish is also celebrating its 200th anniversary. We have two display boards and a video in the corner there. And in September, hopefully we'll have our new community center built, and we'll have a Mass with Archbishop Kurtz and a celebration then. So be on the lookout for that information in September. Thank you all so much. God bless you.
I noticed that our Nelson County magistrate is here also. Keith, you want to speak a little bit? Just a little?
Just like to thank everyone for coming out to the best district in Nelson County, the #1 district. Thank you all. And I also want to thank everybody that did all this hard work. It looks like to me it was a lot of work. Thank all of y'all for doing that, and I'm very proud to be your master. Thank you.
Thank you. We're proud to have you too. Anybody else that would like to say something? I guess that's it. I would like to introduce, Phil, would you like to say?
I am thrilled with this crowd. We've been working on this for probably a year and a half, and I'm going to try to give you just a real brief rundown of the history. New Haven was a crossroads even before the first European settlers. We had two major buffalo traces that came through here, and when Samuel Potitzer surveyed this place in 1773, he noted that. Then he went back back because he already knew that you had the rivers and the springs and the area to develop. So in 1781, he built Pottinger's Stockade or fort up near Gethsemane, right next to where the Dan Distillery is being rebuilt today. And he put in a grist mill and a distillery. Well, these fertile bottomlands were good for growing corn, but corn was hard to ship or make any money off of, so they condensed it to alcohol, which was easier to ship and it had a good market. The location beside these crossroads also meant there was lots of wild game, and that's why he built the meat house, because you couldn't ship just any time. They cured the meat, and then it was shipped down. A major market it also was for hogs as well as wild game that they shipped down to New Orleans. The location allowed shipping because the Pottinger's Creek and Knob Creek are two of the Rolling Fork's largest tributaries, which both come in right here, and therefore you had a longer period and more opportunities to ship. And that's why New Haven became the shipping point rather than where he located up in Gethsemane. In 1785, Nelson County covered Washington, Marion, and Nelson County. So when you hear about Nelson County in the early days, it covers more than just what's Nelson County today. But LaRue County is so close, this area was really a shipping point for all four of those areas. And if you read the history of LaRue County and some of the other counties, you find that one of the first things they did was build roads toward New Haven and an opportunity to ship goods down the Rolling Fork River. Samuel Pottinger Jr. was born in 1785 in the fort, and and then also in the same year, Basil Hayden led the first group of what's called the Maryland League in here to Catholic families out of Maryland that agreed to come in here, settle in the same area in order to get a priest in this area. So over a 4-year period, there were 4 different leaders that brought families in here, but that also started in 1785. They started shipping down, building flatboats to get the goods out of here, and the area had all of these virgin, cherry, walnut, oak. So they built these flatboats out of this really high quality hardwood, and when they got down to New Orleans, they dismantled them and sold the wood. So then the trip was not without its dangers. You had naturally your shipping when the water is swift and high, so not all of them made it. As a matter of fact, one of the most successful traders was Sylvester Johnson, and in about the 3rd year he shipped down the river, his flatboat sank, and he had his entire fortune invested in the goods on that flatboat. So he walked back and started over. But he had the Native Americans that you had to contend with, both going down the river, and the way they got back was walking the Natchez Trace. So you had to contend with those same dangers coming back as well as going. Now, New Haven, because of where it's located, has had ups and downs. Dean Watts talked about some of the population here. The population here was booming until the Civil War. There were like 510 people here in 1860, but in 1870 there were 99. So, the war had a tremendous. There was no shipping done. Also had a lot of troop occupation, that sort of thing. But by the end of the century, the numbers were back up to around 500, And there were 6 operating distilleries in this area, between Africanville, New Hope, and Gethsemane. There were 6 operating distilleries. Well, the next thing to come along, of course, in 1913, a big portion of downtown burned down. And then in 1919, we had Prohibition. So, as he said, by 1930, there were 68 people in New Haven. So, during the Civil War, both the Methodist Church and St. Catherine's were used at various times for hospitals. There was a lot of troop stationed here. So New Haven had, although there weren't any real major battles here, New Haven was in the center of the Civil War because you had the 31E, which in those days was barged down the Green River Turnpike, and the L&N Railroad, which came through here in 1857. So you had 2 major crossroads here, and the Confederates wanted to cut it, and the Union wanted to protect it. So there was quite a few skirmishes around. After World War II, the town continued growing again, and the height of its population was in 1960. That also corresponds to when the Maxey Court area was annexed into the city. But one of the things that I would like to encourage you to look at these displays. There's a lot of history. There's old maps. There's a lot of family histories here. And if you look at it and say, well, gee, I wish I'd done one of these on our family, we welcome you and we will help you to do that if you want to do that for some future event. Thank you.
I am so amazed at all of these wonderful things that we have, that what I want to do is thank the whole community that has come together and give us all these pictures to share. Everyone has worked together. It's been it's been a fun time. We have seen people that we haven't visited with or whatever for a long time. And I just want to thank everybody for being just a community, bringing it all back together. Also, want to thank the people from 200 years ago that saved all these pictures and saved the history so that we could share it with you all. And so hopefully you all keep taking pictures, keep saving it, and 100 years from now, we can still share it back. And my name is Pam Pottinger Howard, and Samuel Jr. was like my 3rd great-grandfather. So thank you all for being here. This is awesome.
I'm Andy Hall. I'm just going to say a few remarks because everybody wants to get back to visiting the Trifles. Basically, this is the first event of the whole bicentennial year. We're going to have events all through the year. So I would like to bring that to your attention. You will find magnets on the tables. You're free to take those, put them on your refrigerator so you can remind yourself to come back and attend some of these other events. I'll just briefly talk about them. On March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, New Haven will have an open house for a couple of hours in the City Hall building. So if you can come, it'll be from 11 to 1, I understand. Also, there'll be an Easter egg hunt in April. So if you've got grandchildren or small children, bring them and let them enjoy the fun. In May, there will be a New Haven Appreciation Day at the City Park. And there we will set up the Trifles again for display, and we'll have food and music entertainment and other things at that event. There will be an annual River Day in June. That will be announced. It's scheduled for June 27th. In July, the Kentucky Railway Museum is going to have a blast-off celebration with fireworks, and so it's a great event that you might want to attend. Again, in August, City of New Haven will have an open house, and we will make Trifles and a lot of information available. On September the 12th, the second Saturday in September, appreciate your attendance, and I'd like to let you know that if you have not done a trifold for your family, it's not too late. You can see myself or Pam Howard or Phil Johnson, and we'll get you a trifold. Just give us your name and how you need it. And we want you to add to these 70 wonderful trifolds that